Good afternoon, everyone. This is Amr Anwar. I am from UCLA, and I'm here to present D-SLATS, Distributed Simultaneous Localization and Time Synchronization. This work is a collaboration between UCLA and UCSP, and it's my pleasure to represent it here. First of all, localization and time synchronization are very important topics. Localization is needed in military, crowdsourcing, targeted advertising, and on the other hand, time synchronization is required with different requirements from seconds to milliseconds in different fields. However, the time and the space problems are always correlated. So the GPS, for example, requires 10 nanoseconds synchronization in order to achieve a localization. Also, any error in the time calculation will affect the localization process. So the time and the space are always correlated problems. Why we consider these SLATS and why we are doing all such research? Consider, for example, we have a forest, a bunch of animals distributed everywhere, and you put some sensors on each animal, and you would like to track the animal, and you would like to keep all the animals with a global time, so you would like all the sensors to be synchronized. Consider a smart home that you have a bunch of devices, and you would like to synchronize the smart devices and keep them synchronized. So our problem can be represented as a bunch of nodes. Some of them are moving, some of them are static, and for example, they are exchanging time stamps, and we would like to solve the localization and time synchronization problem in a unified fashion. Also, we would like to provide a distributed solution to avoid the problems of the centralized solution. The centralized solution suffers from single point failure, high overhead. So we have a bunch of static nodes and quadcopters, for example, as mobile nodes. Related work in this area, we divided it in a bunch of, can be summarized in this graph. Time synchronization work, we will find some distributed work and some centralized work. GDS, NTP, FTSP, all this stuff. Localization, you will find point and many centralized solution, and you will find also D-lock, CONLOC as a distributed solution. And very close to our work is time sync and localization in a unified fashion. And here we can find the centralized solution as SLATS and joint ranging and clock parameter estimation. And finally, the time synchronization and localization in a distributed fashion. We will find distributed sync and positioning in ultra-wideband ad hoc network using TOA. However, this work of the physical layer representation and this theoretical work, and it's not evaluated on a real hardware. So our D-SLATS is competing in this domain, in this area. Towards our ultimate goal, we will use some test bed. We built some test bed. This is a schematic of our test bed. Bunch of static nodes and bunch of mobile nodes, and we have motion capture system for localization ground truth, which is the kernel of 0.5 millimeter localization error. Here is a real test bed in our lab. You will find these are the static nodes, and these are the ground truth, and here is the quadcopter, for example, flying. This is our static node, which we designed. It's powered over Ethernet, so only one cable running in the lab to give power and data. And it's Cortex M4, and it uses ultra-wideband radio for exchanging messages. And here is the figure on the ceiling of our lab. Concerning the states in our system, as I said, we are concerned about localization and time synchronization. So our state is position, 3D position. We are doing X, Y, Z position. We concerned about the clock offset of each node, the clock bias. The clock offsets are with relative to one of the nodes, which you can pick randomly. It's like the global node. The measurements type in our system can be summarized into 3 types. First type is noisy counter difference. So here is one node I and other node J. Node I takes some timestamp and send it to node J, and the counter difference between the two nodes is the first type of measurement. The second type is a noisy ranging. Ranging is like the distance between the two nodes, and it can be calculated using this simple formula. You just get the propagation delay and multiply it by the speed of the light. So here you can get noisy ranging using 2 measurements. And finally, accurate ranging using 3 messages as you see here, and using this formula to get the accurate ranging between the two nodes. After this long introduction, let's take a look at our algorithm. Our first algorithm is DCAD, distributed Kalman filter. As a background for distributed Kalman filter, we make use of previous work, which is diffusion strategies for distributed Kalman filter and smoothing for Federico and Alice Sayed. Bunch of nodes, some of them are static, some of them are moving, and it can be represented in this diagram. 3 steps at each node. Measurement update, where you get the measurement from your neighbors. Your neighbors are defined by the network topology. Diffusion update, where you get estimates from your neighbor to enhance your estimates. The estimate is the estimation for your state, which is the position and the time. And finally, the time update, which is common in all the Kalman filter algorithms. Our system model is a normal system model. We have state update function and measurement update function. Our state update function can be summarized as shown here. Position, the offset is updated using this equation, and finally the bias. Our measurement equation is a little bit non-linear, and I can give you the equation about it. Here is the 3 types of measurement: the counter difference, which is corresponds to the difference between the 2 offsets plus the propagation delay, and the noisy ranging is the norm, which is the distance between the 2 positions plus some effect for the clock bias, and finally the accurate ranging, which is the norm, the distance between the 2 nodes, and compensation for the clock terms in a more accurate fashion. So Ali Sayed and Federico propose this algorithm: measurement update, diffusion update, time update. Only some comments. This P is like a covariance of some representation for the covariance. And as you see here, they are taking the inverse, and this P is usually a big matrix. If they are 100 nodes multiplied by number of states, 5 for example, 5 multiplied by 100, so it's a big matrix, and you are taking the inverse over this low power node. And the X and V here, the X is your state. You are keeping monitoring the whole network. So when the network size increases, your X and V will increase dramatically. And this is a disadvantage of their work. We did a simple modification using the binomial inverse theorem to use their algorithm without doing any inversion. So we are using their filter in our system without doing any inversion to avoid the inversion on our nodes. This is the result if we use the decal on our lab. So as you see, we achieved about half meter localization error for 8 nodes. This is a static experiment. For the mobile node localization, a quadcopter flying for 2 minutes in our lab, which is a 9 by 10 meter lab. The ground truth is the red and the estimation is the green. We achieved 0.7 RMS value. Concerning the second problem, which is the growing size of X and B, as I said, you need to keep monitoring the whole network. So when the number of nodes increase, your X and B will increase. A simple solution for that is to keep track of your neighbor's X estimation and your neighbor's B. For example, this is the big matrix P, and some elements are related to your node, some elements are related to your neighbors. However, if you depend only on your neighbor's information, you will not be able to get the inverse, as the inverse requires the whole matrix information. So to solve this problem, we go to two other algorithms which we propose: decal large and D-opt. For the decal large is a distributed Kalman filter for large scale systems. So the core idea is the following: we have a bunch of nodes. Each node will keep track of only its neighbor. We don't need to keep track of the faraway neighbors. For example, N4 don't need to keep any track of node 0 and so on. So as you see, we keep doing clustering based on your neighbor's home. We borrow two functions from previous work, which is distributing the Kalman filter for large scale system for Professor Mora and Osman Khan. They use two functions called L-banded inverse and TCO inverse. The big picture is the following: you have a big matrix P, and you would like to get the inverse values for this matrix. So they have L-banded approximation, where you can get the inverse value without looking into the other value. So you can make use of your info and your neighbor's info and do some approximation to get your values without need to see any non-neighbors information. So decal consists of measurement update, diffusion update, and time update. We add to it the L-banded and TCO so that we can use the clustering way, and we don't need to keep track of all the network. The final algorithm will look something like that. Sorry, it's a lot of math. We propose here a spatial diffusion. In Professor Mora model, he only shared the measurement. In Ali Sayed model, they share the measurement and do some diffusion, which is state sharing between your neighbors. In our case, we share the state and the measurement, as if the node is not connected to the global node, you will need still to get an estimate of the global time. So we keep sharing, we keep publishing the state of the nodes, and also if you are a faraway node and I am a node, I have the best estimate about myself. Why I let you estimate my position, and I have another solution by publishing my position. I have the best estimate about myself. So we keep publishing our estimate, and this enhances the result. And we call this a spatial diffusion. It's like a special case of Ali Sayed work. This is the result for fully connected network of the same 8 nodes. As I said, it's an approximation for DCAL, so it's a little bit worse than DCAL. For the mobile node, it's still in a good shape. The RMS is worse a little bit compared to the DCAL. DCAL was 0.7 and here is 0.8. The final algorithm, which is D-Opt, it's based on distributed optimization algorithm, and it has the same core idea that every node will keep track of its neighbors only, and we keep doing this clustering. We don't need to keep the information of the whole network. So the steps can be summarized in this algorithm. Every node will perform the ranging with its neighbors, then distribute the estimates, then every node will solve these equations simultaneously to get the offset, the position, and the clock bias for itself. Here is the result for D-Opt. It has a faster convergence comparing to DCAL and DCAL large, and it has the same about 0.5 meter localization error. However, if we go to the mobile node, which is the quadcopter, we will find that D-Opt is not in a good shape comparing to the DCAL and DCAL large. My reason for that is that the Kalman filter keeps the information from the beginning until the current point, so it has the whole history. However, the optimization only uses the values of the current second, so the Kalman filter has learning feature and it will propose a better estimate. That's why I think the mobile node doesn't work well for the people. Here is the summarization for the fully connected comparison for the static nodes. We will find we implement a centralized Kalman filter as a comparison with our algorithms. Of course, the centralized is the best. Then we will find that D-Opt in the second rank, then DCAL, and then its approximation DCAL large, and the same ranking in the time synchronization. We achieved about 5 microsecond time synchronization, and D-Opt achieved 2 microseconds, and the centralized one provides 1 microsecond. As a future work, we would like to test our algorithm with really large scale network and see the effect of network topology on our accuracy. And also we would like to expand our work into secure localization and time synchronization, where some nodes send fake data and they are under malicious attacks. And that's it. Thanks for your time.